All right, welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in. We try to cover some topics that may be of interest to you. Last week we were in trial. We had a trial judge going on in OREM. We had plea court going on. The trial is one that you will remember, but it is what we always refer to as Allen's Food Basket. As you go into Myrtle Beach on Highway 501, over to the left, there's a convenience store that's been over there for a long time, and testimony came out in trial that a guy named Gabriel had leased Allen's Food Basket, and one night he and others were in there playing cards. I think it was 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. A door is, they got a person at the door. That doorman was bum rushed. He was hit in the head, and 5 guys came in from Sumter and started shooting at the people at the card game. 2 people were killed. Several others were injured. One of the ones injured was a co-defendant. One of the guys from Sumter was injured. He was shot a through and through wound somewhere up around the neck, and he was treated and released in Sumter. That guy turned state's evidence and worked with us. Obviously we had his DNA from the blood, and he was pretty much toast. So he pled to manslaughter as his part of the shooting, and testified against defendant Hunter and defendant Fry. Now, I wish that I was here giving you the end result of that case, but that case had a lot of issues that came up during the trial, and we didn't get through with closing statements last week, or the judge's charge and the jury's deliberation. All of that started this morning. So the prosecutor will give a closing statement, the defense teams will give closing statements, and then the judge will charge the jury. The jury will deliberate, and we should know later on today or this week the outcome of those 2 murder trials. Allen's Food Basket, I'll update you next week on that. In another courtroom, we had a lot of cases that were going on as far as pleas. Another Myrtle Beach case that you will no doubt have heard about. DeJuan Cole, 21, out of Sherrall, came down to Myrtle Beach, and right on Ocean Boulevard there was 2 rival gangs across the street from each other. Started shooting across Ocean Boulevard. Cole was charged, come in and pled guilty, and received an 8-year sentence. He joins a 22-year-old Dennis Stewart, who got 11 years. He's from Sherrall. Tavon Brown, he's 22. He got 10 years in prison. Quandre Tyson, 23. He's from up around Sherrall and Pageland. He got 10 years. And then Jaden Satterfield got 6 years. He was an 18-year-old out of Charlotte. So finally, I think that's the end. There may be one more co-defendant there that has a bench warrant, but the rest of them are all pled. These are particularly difficult cases because it's very hard to figure out who shot first, and there's just this hell of bullets. Just like if you were looking at a Revolutionary War reenactment, who shot first? Well, the other ones are certainly going to be claiming self-defense. But you'd say, well, Jimmy, both of them are gangbangers. Both groups are gangbangers. They are, and that makes it tough. But even gangbangers can't get shot at and then prosecuted for when there's a self-defense claim out there. That makes it a lot tougher. But we have struggled through that, and I think everybody is gone at this point. There's one other case I want to let you know about. There's a guy named Delano Tilton. He's 22-year-old out of Loris. He, along with Mazar Studevant, 21 of Myrtle Beach, were charged with armed robberies. Those two were posing on an app called Grindr and luring victims in that thought they were coming for a date. Obviously, when they show up, they get armed robbed. And there were several counts of armed robbery. They all went to trial back in July. Studevant was convicted and given 10 years after a trial. The other guy, Tilton, ran and fled the area. So he was tried in his absence. He was picked up in Utah last week and brought back to Horry County. The way that happens is he would have received a trial just like Studevant received a trial. He was convicted at trial. Studevant knows his sentence of 10 years. Since Titan was not there, the judge would take that sentencing sheet, seal it in an envelope, sign it, and hold it for whenever he was picked up. Fortunately for us, before the end of the year, he was picked up in Utah, and he will come back and receive his sentence. Those are some of the things that are going on. Of course, next week I hope to let you know, good or bad, guilty or not guilty, on Allen's Food Basket. Have a great week.